This line graph maps Figma's valuation drop in early 2026, coinciding exactly with the release of two new AI-native tools. These new generators create full, interactive user interfaces from a single text prompt. In under 60 seconds, a description of a dashboard or an onboarding flow becomes a functional, clickable prototype. This shift from days of manual labor to seconds of generation is causing a rapid recalibration across the tech industry. Product teams are now questioning if traditional canvas-based design software is becoming obsolete. When the machine handles the layout, the need for a manual drawing tool is less clear. This is an existential crisis for the design industry. It forces a decision on how digital products are actually built and who is qualified to build them. This Venn diagram maps the intersection of design, engineering, and AI orchestration. This overlap is where the current struggle for industry control is taking place. On one side is frictionless ideation. This allows a user to instantly visualize a concept without the manual effort of drawing and placing individual components. On the other side is system governance. Large-scale products require strict brand consistency and production-ready fidelity that must be maintained across thousands of screens. These two forces are currently incompatible. Tools optimized for instant generation lack the precision to enforce corporate design systems, while precise tools move too slowly for rapid AI exploration. Every software team is now forced to choose between generating concepts instantly or maintaining absolute control over the final codebase. Navigating this divide is now a requirement. Betting on the wrong operational model introduces friction that can stall a team's development pipeline. To see the speed of this new landscape, consider Google Stitch. You input a single text prompt and get a 5-screen flow in minutes. The trade-off for that speed is that the output relies on generic AI models. These generic components are often difficult to map back to an engineering team's actual production library. The AI creates a vibe of a button, rather than the specific code for your company's button. In contrast, the traditional Figma workflow starts within a team's strict component architecture. This provides pixel-perfect, brand-compliant assets. It allows for deep governance over every layout detail, ensuring the design is exactly what engineers expect. However, that precision involves significantly slower ideation cycles and requires expensive, specialized manual work to maintain the library. It highlights the difference between the ease of generating a visual concept and the engineering difficulty of actually implementing it. Ideation speed is useless if the generated design creates technical debt that engineers cannot ship to production. Claude Design attempts to bypass generic UI by reading a company's actual GitHub repository and extracting the existing design system to use as its guide. Google Stitch goes further by externalizing design rules into a code-first format called design.md. This markdown file captures colors, typography, and component structures as machine-readable text. Design specifications are no longer locked inside a proprietary canvas. AI coding agents like Claude Code can ingest this markdown file directly, building the front end without a human having to translate visual mockups. The result? Engineers can now bypass the traditional designer handoff. Designers are losing their historical monopoly on visual execution. Direct code generation is replacing manual pixel manipulation. As design assets become code, everyone involved in building software must understand basic front-end architecture. To navigate this, start by identifying your primary bottleneck: ideation speed, code integration, or system scale. For founders and product managers who lack technical design skills, Google Stitch is the path to validate ideas instantly. While this empowers early-stage validation, it accrues design debt that will require a rebuild when the product needs to scale. Front-end engineers and solo developers looking for full-stack capability without the friction of visual design tools should look to Claude Design. Integrating markdown specs into AI coding agents creates an automated pipeline from intent to React code. For both founders and solo developers, sacrificing precise, human-centric research is a calculated trade-off for pure deployment speed. Professional design teams at the enterprise level must manage products at a massive scale. For these organizations, maintaining Figma as the source of truth is mandatory to preserve brand governance across thousands of components. The enterprise trade-off involves high software overhead and a heavy investment in design ops to manage AI integration safely. The role of the designer is shifting within this fragmented landscape. The task of the pixel pusher, someone whose primary value was in drawing static shapes on a canvas, has been replaced by automated assembly. The future belongs to hybrid orchestrators, professionals who can set high-level visual strategy while commanding fleets of code-generating AI agents.